Right now, we'll be joining our guest in person of Adeniyi Ifetayo. He is a media analyst to talk about some of the stories on the dailies. Good morning, Adeniyi Ifetayo. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here once again, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Been a minute. How has the year been so far? I know it's just the 6th day, but how has it been so far?
Yeah, it's been great, and we are hopeful. We believe that it will get better. And thank God for the is it 5 naira or 6 naira difference that the fuel price came down. A few days before the New Year, so we can say that's part of our New Year gift from the federal government and Dangote committee, whatever it is. But I'm hopeful that it's going to get better.
But despite the reduction in the price of fuel, Nigerians are still decrying high cost of transportation. We have that on the Punch newspaper this morning. So although yes, I got fuel at NNPC on the 1st of January at 925 naira, which was a great reduction from what I've been purchasing. But if this is still not reflecting in the cost of transportation, and Nigerians are still, lamenting the hike in transportation, how do we measure this, and how do we get it to balance up that Nigerians start to feel the effect of this reduction?
When things goes up in Nigeria, even when it comes down, it takes some time before it can come down a bit. Whatever it is, I think we are still not getting it when it comes to price mechanism. In Nigeria, I was having a chat with someone 3 days ago that if you're in UK and you know that the cost of your transportation is 20 naira in a month, that's how it's going to be. Rain comes, sunshine, because that's how the system is being run. You can't just decide and inflate price when everybody know or everybody is aware that the fuel price has been reduced or something. So, and that's how it's going to be. We just believe that government still need to send some of their monitoring and sensitization, because there's still differences. When you get to that state, they said they sell it for so a month.
Yeah.
You get to this state, you get it for so a month. So I think it should be across board before it will reflect, on the those people who ply the road every day, who interface with these commercial bus driver that just sell at that just increase cost of transportation at will. So I think we still get better, and government will need to send a kind of monitoring that there's an average, even in UK as well. When you enter a taxi, for example, Uber, there's a reader in the car or in the vehicle. So you know how many distance you travel, you know the cost that you are going to pay. Not just somebody will say, oh, I'm going to take ABCD or XYZ. Yes.
Absolutely. Right. Just before Olumide, comes in, I'd like to hop on this conversation around the minimum wage. It's a new year, and one would expect that, okay, this conversation around implementation of the minimum wage, we've gotten somewhere with it. But the Guardian newspaper has this to say: minimum wage implementation as governor's minimum assignment. We have this saying that as many governors have remained reluctant to implement the new national minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Despite the harsh economic conditions, they need to, be imperative and rethink these decisions. They do not have to wait till the workers' unions, such as the NLC, swing into action. Also, they stated that the new wage is already losing its value, despite the fact that a lot of states have not implemented it. Let's get your thoughts on this. It's been over 5 months, if I'm correct, since this new minimum wage conversation came up. So how then do we proceed from here? Shouldn't there be strict measures to ensure that all states comply? I know that there has also been conversation that we can't compare some states in terms of their internally generated revenue and what have you, but how do we measure this up, seeing that it's already losing its value?
Yeah, you can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. It's never done. And in as much you just said now that there are some say we know we can't compel them as to what they can pay. If they can regulate power sector, to differentiate who has a band A or who has band B or who has band B, band C. I think when it comes to minimum wage, as regard to each state, can be graded. Can be
Okay.
pull up state A, B, C, D. You are in band A. State C, X, Y, Z. You are in band B, so that we know. And of course, transparent need to play out here. So so many things are shrouded in secret when it comes to running the affairs of state, where some government, for example, or governors, you don't know how much they earn or they receive as security votes every month, and you don't know how much is being internally generated revenue. Only thing that we are aware of is what they tell us, what they receive from federal government. So we should know how many. Thank God is we're in the world of digitalization. You should know how many workforce that you have, how much is your overhead cost, and when they are transparent enough, I think the NLC will not be agitated. There won't be agitation from workers. It's just like a parent, or they said wife and child or children, they think that their father has so much, unless you say this is how much I earn. If, for example, somebody who is earning 100,000, your wife might believe you are earning about 300,000. That's when you'll be asking you, buy me bone straight, buy me this shoe, want to do this Ashebi, because you are not opening up. Is what I practice. Oh, this is how much I earn. This is how much that is coming in. This is what we are going to use 2 naira for this, use 3 naira for this. The remaining one is for us to keep body and soul together. But if the governor are not doing that, there will be a lot of agitation, because the masses, because there's this distrust between the government and the masses. They will feel that they are earning, they are having so much than they are declaring. So transparent need to play a role here. If you want to show that, oh, I can't afford this thing, open your book, let us see it. Oh, this is what is coming in. Let's take for example, in the last 6 months, this is what have been generated, this is our overhead cost, this is the project I'm working on, it costs ABCD, and we're going to pay XYZ every month, and all of that. So people will show understanding. But when everything is being shrouded in secrecy, there will be this loghead going back and forth and all of that. You just said it's been about 5 months. Who knows? It might run throughout this year. If on the part of the government or the governors, they need to be transparent when it comes to their book. And on the part of NLC, they just need to categorize the state. Because just like you said, the 3-bedroom flat in Maiduguri is not the same thing as the cost of 3-bedroom flat in Lagos.
Absolutely.
So those things should be put into consideration, because all fingers are not equal.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much, Adeniyi. Now let me shift your attention to the Punch newspaper. Let's talk about this new virus and the outbreak in China. Now, so what we got is that about 5,000 people have been hospitalized in United Kingdom, which means it's already gotten to United Kingdom. Now, one very peculiar thing we need to understand here, the virus known as HMPV, it has been discovered that there has been a noticeable increase in HMPV cases, especially among children under 14 years old in the northern parts of the country. So my first question is, how can we be proactive? Nigeria, we need to be proactive at this point. If there is a noticeable case, large noticeable case among children, how can we be proactive? How can we prevent this from getting into the country right now?
Okay, I think
this is very key.
the network is quite unfriendly all of a sudden.
I was planning to go to China. I just said, oh, thank God, I have a... can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
I said, first and foremost, information dissemination is very key. Not because it's not happening in Nigeria, it is happening in China, or it has gotten to UK. There must be an alert, a message alert on every Nigerian's phone. As long as you use phone, partnership with media houses on this new virus, you understand? I was saying that I was planning to go to China next week, but when I saw the news, it gave me a kind of a pro max excuse not to go. In as much I was considering to share almost about, not almost, 7 figures, to embark on that trip. So information, dissemination, orientation, not because it's not happening. UK, from UK to Nigeria is just about 6 hours. If somebody, God forbid, we usually say to transport it from that place. So we should let our people know, especially those businessmen who are, bound to go to China. We want to import this, we want to import that. This is what is happening. We advise that you be conscious, or if you can postpone your trip till everything dials down, So it boils down to information, dissemination, or national orientation, send SMS, send alerts, and all of that. So let the people be aware of what is going on, so that they can be very conscious, or in dealing, international wise, or somebody who just came back from UK or from any part of the country that is closer or share proximity with China.
Right. But just to follow up on that, beyond information, beyond orientation, I know that's the responsibility of National Orientation Agency, right? Whereby a lot of people do not even know the NOA, if we're going to be very factual. A lot of people do not know what they do. A lot of people do not understand their function. Not because they are not carrying out their job, but I think that it's not as effective as it should be. So beyond the dissemination of information, I was saying earlier that schools have resumed today. Don't you think it's time to start putting certain measures in check? Don't you think, just like what happened with COVID, I know that it took a little while. The virus had come into the country before they started talking about social distancing, wash your hand, use face mask. Don't you think for this one, we should not wait till the damage has, or till it has affected a couple of people before being proactive?
Yes, of course. That's where our airport authority officials need to come in place. All our borders, all our entry points at waterway, landway, and airport, and all of that. All those alerts should be placed there. Stickers, it has to do with information. If there's anything you need to do, like a routine, maybe every 2 hours, make sure you wash your hand or you wash your face, all those things. They know what can prevent such virus, especially when the school has resumed today, or major school resumed today. And those children also should be educated when it comes to when we're talking about the new virus. So they should be educated if there are things to be put in place, because so that the burden will not be passed to the parents who are lamenting.
Oh, the network is quite
unfriendly. High cost in this, you need to do that.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. It's better now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely. It's better now. I wanted to take you up on a conversation around. Can you hear me, Adeniyi Ifetayo? Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right. I said I want to take you up on a conversation. All right. I want to take you up on a conversation surrounding insecurity. Now, the Guardian newspaper says the CDS, that's the Chief of Defense Staff, has told personnel that insurgencies and insecurities to end in 2025. Now, it's safe to say that we've heard this conversation come up a couple of times years before now. But on the national dailies this morning as well, on the Punch, talking about the Lakurawa group that formed themselves last year, and they are becoming something else. Just last Friday, they had an attack in Kebbi State where they killed 2 policemen and rustled over 200 cattle. Now, according to reports from communities, the Lakurawa group is, joining force with bandits to attack communities, kidnap people, kill people, and it's starting to seem like nothing is going to be done about it. Considering the manner in which the Lakurawa group came up, it felt like they sent some sort of awareness, and they seemed to lobby youths into joining them. How would you rate our security structure in managing the situation to what we have at this point in time? Are you there, Adeniyi Ifetayo? All right, I think we have lost the call, but we'll try to get him back, on the line to answer that question. It baffles me a lot because I remember when this group was formed, they felt like, okay, now they can do anything. They felt so confident. They had a sort of courage that we're here, nothing is going to be done about it. And we saw them lobbying youth with, I think I saw 1 million naira there,
yes,
and if you look at it, we see people, youths that are unemployed, if they see this kind of opportunity, they want to hop on it. But we have Adeniyi Ifetayo back on the line. Thank you for joining once again.
Thank you. I think the network is not being friendly.
Absolutely. I don't know if you got my question or I should take it again.
No, I missed the last part.
All right.
Or if I can retreat it.
Okay.
Can you repeat it again?
Yes, I was talking about insecurity and this Lakurawa group that is teaming up with bandits. And just last Friday, they still had an attack in Kebbi State, where some persons were killed. And I was saying that seeing how this group was formed, they came up with so much confidence. How would you rate our security structure in fighting or combating this group? Because they seem to have gained some sort of leverage right now.
They need to do more. Every now and then you should expect different things that will come, especially when it comes to the security or protection of lives and property. And just like the CDS has said that I-25, the insurgency will come to an end. It's good to be hopeful, but I know there are some security information that they might not want to share. I just kind of training and retraining. I think they can do that. It's not just talking. Do the talk. You understand what I'm saying? Do the talk. If you need to synergize, if you need to, invest more when it comes to software and all of that. Sharing of information. And if you need it, why not? That's why you have allies. You understand? I'm sure I've not subscribed to a war between Ukraine and Russia, but each nation have their own allies when they face with something that is bigger than them. Yes, we are giants of Africa. There might be a place that we are lacking, that we are not very sound. We are not very up to our game in that aspect. Then call on your ally. They can, bring in support and put this thing to an end once and for all. So I'm hopeful that they will do better to, this Lakawaru, the new terrorist group that are trying to gain more grants so that they should, nip them in the knob before they get out of hands, because it's becoming worrisome.
All right. Quickly, in less than a minute, Peter Obi or Labour Party has said that there's no need for a merger come 2027. That they are, hopeful of winning the election. I know some might say it's too early for that prediction, but kindly share your thoughts in less than a minute.
Yeah, first and foremost, they said a tree does not make a forest. It's good. It's better you make more friends. I'm sure they should learn from what has happened in the last election. And if this thing that we are talking about, that's why business match, there's partnership, there's synergy. Even when it comes to an issue of in the banking industry, you see two banks, they match together to become one entity, to become more strong and all of that. So I'm not sure they have what it takes to win for now, unless if there's a merger, they bring new people on block, not just new people, those people who have been there. They said old friends are gold, the new friends are silver. So you need both gold and silver, to operate in this dispensation. So that's what they call structure.
All right, thank you very much, Adeniyi Ifetayo. So glad you have been brilliant. Of course, we'll also get from you again. We'll hear from you again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you so much, and apologies for this network.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week ahead.
And you too.
Bye.